Hi, my name's Dave Irvine-Halliday. We initiated Light Up the World, in 1997, and by 2000, we were lighting our first villages, in Nepal, India, Sri Lanka, and since then, with the help of a dedicated staff and many partners around the world, NGOs and government partners, industrial parties, etc. We're now working in something like 44 countries, and there's literally tens of thousands of homes that have been lit.
So Dave, you're holding a system, a sample system in your hands, right? Can you tell us a little bit about what it is, how it works?
Yeah, excuse me. The system is extremely simple. It's based on the white light emitting diode. So that's your bulb, okay? Because the white LED is just so much more efficient than the incandescent bulb or even the small, fluorescent tubes. And energy is everything. You have to supply the energy for the bulb, okay? So we want to make it as easy as possible for the people in the developing world. So the three components, or the Trinity as we call it, is the bulb itself, the lamp, okay?
It's pretty bright in the middle.
Yes, it certainly is.
Bright, like outdoor,
yep.
And
well, in a small home, this would be, very, very bright, okay? And you've got the source of energy, which is the solar panel, and this is a 5-watt solar panel. And then
it's not too big.
No, it isn't too big, and it also keeps the cost down.
It's like almost like an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper.
That's exactly how we describe it. Yeah. So the thing is that you have to put this energy somewhere during the day, and it goes into this battery, and it's a 12-volt battery. I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, it looks like a motorcycle battery," and it isn't, but it kind of looks like it.
What kind of battery is it? What kind of technology goes behind it?
It's a lead-acid battery, and it's maintenance-free. It's usually called a sealed lead-acid battery, meaning sealed that you don't have to add distilled water to. And that's very important because we don't want, sort of acid, leaking out and causing problems, burning people, that kind of thing.
Right. So, with just to follow up on the battery, I don't know much about battery technologies, but in the rechargeable one, like the nickel metal hydrate and whatnot, is lead acid the base one, or is it like they're more advanced technology, but they of course cost more money?
When it comes to batteries, you have to look at the whole package, and as far as we're concerned, it's the best bang for the buck. And of course, you have to bring Mother Nature into this as well. People used to say to us, "Well, you're using lead-acid batteries. Isn't lead dangerous?" And my answer to that is, you go to places like, Calcutta or, Kathmandu or that, you won't see a lead-acid battery lying on the side of the road because people know they can recycle them. And lead-acid batteries are recycled, and it's part of our basic philosophy as well, okay, to recycle them. Because people get money back on them. It's just like, pop cans. You don't see pop cans lying about too much because, there are people who go around and recycle them.
When did you start the Light Up the World Foundation, and what makes you think that you could change the world, David?
Well, as I said previously, the first idea came in 1997. Okay, we had our prototypes in the field in '99, with our first villages lit permanently, whole villages, in 2000. In 2002, okay, we instead of just being Light Up the World, we became the Light Up the World Foundation with our own board, our own kind of dedicated, staff, etc. And since then, we've literally lit up, 15,000, 20,000 homes, and we've worked in, I think it's 44 countries. This is life-changing. This is one of the most important things, the most important pieces of technology that the overdeveloped world can help to bring to the developing world. Because if people just appreciate, can I keep talking?
Yeah, keep going.
If people in the overdeveloped world just appreciate that the developing world families, with the help of microcredit, okay, can pay exactly what they're paying for kerosene, but pay it to microcredit. And in a year or 18 months or so, they can pay for this system. And then all their previous money they spent on kerosene can now be spent on, as I said previously, on your children's education, on entrepreneurship, better food, better house, any number of things.
It is. I mean, I really admire your effort and the time that you have spent in such an important project and the foundations and making a difference in the world for people.
The thing is that there is a very dedicated staff, in the Light Up the World office, and I mean, I'm just one, of a number, and these guys, they work their backsides off 5, 6, quite often 7 days a week. So our success is not due just to one or two people. It's due to the whole organization. Plus, our partners in the other countries are absolutely, they're worth more than their weight in gold. Because without them, we couldn't do very much.
So how can people help the foundation and help the project?
Well,
for those that are in Calgary and for those that are watching this from the internet from around the world?
Well, I mean, apart from funding, because let's face it, all NGOs are always short of funds, because there's so much more we want to do, okay? But we need funding in order to invest it in microcredit so that we could lend it repeatedly, and let it go round and round. But in terms of volunteering, etc., the idea is to just go on the website and look up the telephone number or the email contact and send your details. Because if people say I want to volunteer, we have to ask them, well, what are your skill sets? What are your interests? Because excuse me, we want it to be a really sort of happy, beneficial experience for you as well as for Light Up the World. It's got to be a win-win-win situation.
Right. So I suppose there are different chapters around the world where people can sign up to volunteer.
Well, it's interesting you talk about Light Up the World chapters because in the last 6 or 9 months it's just almost an exponential interest, in a number of countries around the world concerning people who really want to start, Light Up the World chapters.
Their own initiatives.
To spread the word and to help us raise funds and to help us literally spread the word that this is, a kind of a gift from God in a sense to the developing world.
Right.
It truly is.
Right. And when you mentioned microcredit, well, how much money are we talking about there? And are those loans?
They are. That's exactly what it is. I mean, microcredit is basically banking for the poor.
Yeah, it is.
We're talking about loans of $150 to $200, that kind of range,
right,
which would be paid back in a year or 18 months.
Yeah, from the money that people save from the gasoline.
Again, as I said previously, you could be paying for kerosene on the Friday, and on the Monday you're paying for solid state lighting, but you're paying exactly the same amount per week that you previously paid for kerosene. So your economic situation hasn't changed. It's just now you have bright, safe, healthy, lighting, electric lighting.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Dave, for being interviewed.
Very welcome.